Welcome everyone to AI TV. We're broadcasting from AI Expo Africa 2019, Africa's largest AI trade show, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome Baptiste from France, from a company called Immersion. And you guys are in the AR, VR headset world, so it's interesting how we're seeing the convergence of AI into visual technologies. What are you showing everyone here today,
Baptiste? That's right. We are in augmented reality, virtual reality, and more largely into immersive technologies. But what's important to understand in relationship with artificial intelligence and data, it's that our technology are all about visualization, interaction, and collaboration. Those are technology that are here so that people can understand the data they are working with, can understand the big picture of the project, and so take the best decision in the most efficient time.
Okay, and then in terms of an industrial or business application, what sort of clients have you got using your technologies?
A lot of clients come from what we call the advanced manufacturing sector. Those are aeronautics, automotive industries, space industries, where you have to have different expertise, different teams working together to achieve the result on a complex project. So they require both augmented and virtual reality technologies to see the product in scale 1 before it actually exists, so that you can take decision before you have to face the high costs. And on the other hand, we are also developing collaborative technologies where they have the capability to consolidate information in a large screen in the meeting room, so that when they are working together, they can have this big picture, what is called the common operational picture in the crisis management sector, to be sure that they have every data at hand to take the best decision. So this is what we focused on at the beginning, and then there are some other important and interesting use cases in terms of training. For instance, such technologies help people to help teachers to empower the students so that they really understand the data, they really are involved rather than passive. And I think that's really a key thing. We try to have a more symmetrical way than having one people explaining to each other. We want everyone to be able to interact and to take part of the meeting. And for instance, it is also especially important in the service sector, where even when you review multiple documents, you may like to have some kind of control on what is going on in the meeting.
And I mean, conferencing technology, video conferencing, and you log on and you say, "Can you hear me? Can you hear Skype?" You know, I mean, obviously with augmented reality and virtual reality, if you can all be in a virtual room all around the world. So now, how have you got any use cases where that's being? I don't know. Is that called augmented conferencing or something? Has that got a phrase?
I think when you say that, a lot of people understand, or virtual conferencing and so on, even if they understand. But I think what's important is in those meetings, what are the key issues you want to tackle? Do you really want to see avatars of your colleagues, or do you want to share a visualization of the 3D object?
Of yourself?
Of yourself, but honestly what we think is that seeing avatars of the other is not the key point.
Okay.
When we discuss together, it would definitely not be the same thing if I had an avatar of you and you had an avatar of me. You have a complicated body language, not the same references, we cannot see the eyes, eye contact is complicated, and so on. So there are cases where it's good. For instance, if we had to review a complex engine, it would be great to focus on the engine and just have an avatar of yourself to know what you are looking at. But if what we are reviewing are the blueprints, the 3D model of the engine, the document, the specification, we would like to have all this information consolidated in a single collaborative space, and the large screen you have in many meeting rooms is definitely enough. And we would also want to associate to this meeting remote people, so that they are also able to see who is talking, to hear us, and not only that, but to share the interaction we are performing on the documents. For instance, if I pinpoint something, we are close to each other, so you see what I'm talking about, but people at a distance will not see that. And we want them to be able to see what I'm pinpointing, and we want them to be able to interact with the content, whether it is 3D or typical 2D content, images, videos, documents. We are able to do that today with a collaborative solution we developed.
So let's talk about how are you introducing the concept of AI? Is there an AI component to what you're doing? I mean, data analytics, or are you mainly focused on the visualization side of that?
So actually, augmented reality and virtual reality is the technology. The sharing application, which is the collaborative application we are developing, is also part of the technology. And so each time we face a new use case, we try to better understand what are the key issues people are interested with. The technology has to be a tool to give the whole answer to our clients and our users.
So now you guys are here because of the French delegation that have come to the Expo. So when I was dealing with Marion and Matthew at the embassy, they're very keen that French companies are coming to Africa to trade and to show what you're doing, and then they want to take companies back to, or introduce companies to France as well. So in terms of the market here for you, do you see opportunities in Africa now for your technologies? Has this been a useful show for you?
Yeah, definitely. We saw a lot of people in the today and yesterday who face daily this limitation and who would like to empower their users, their colleagues, their stakeholders, so that people feel more involved in the project. So definitely, and as you definitely have understood, it is quite a transverse technology which can address many domains. But what we are really glad is that we had also the opportunity to discuss with people that will sell, that will integrate the technology into the environment.
Like looking for partners.
Exactly.
Right,
and for instance, this afternoon...
And did you find any?
This afternoon, we, as you know, are signing an agreement with the 4th Industrial Revolution Incubator.
That's right.
Yeah. Who really discover the application, really share the philosophy we had when developing the application, and who will be a good partner to demonstrate the technology and to help people understand what it brings and if it brings them the right answer to their issues.
Brilliant. And if I was to ask you one final question, what do you think of the show and the format? Have you enjoyed the time here?
Yeah, definitely.
What's been a highlight for you?
I think what's great is to have so many different people with so many different industries that share the same interest for the technology and that has the right mindset to imagine how the technology can be used in their own use cases. And that's quite great because with AI, with augmented reality, with advanced collaborative technologies, those are quite disruptive technology, and we have to have all the right people around the table to be sure that they can use in the right way, they can be used in the right way in the future. And that's definitely what we found. Congratulations for the show.
Jean-Baptiste, thank you very much for coming.
You're welcome.
And
Thank
it's
you.
been a pleasure to welcome you to AI TV, and we hopefully look forward to seeing you in the French delegation next year. Thank you very much for coming.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.